I now reconvene to the regular meeting of the Board of Education at 7 p.m. with Cruz, Na, Orozco, and Fikes present. And as reported before closed session, Mrs. Blair is absent from this meeting. Before we begin, please silence all electronic devices and note that these proceedings are being recorded. Pat.
The board met in closed session from 4:04 p.m. to 6:43 p.m. regarding conference with legal counsel, existing and anticipated litigation, a student expulsion, public employee appointment, coordinator behavior intervention, coordinator technology, elementary principal, and high school assistant principals, public employee discipline, dismissal release, and public employee performance evaluation superintendent. The board voted to appoint Katrina Gomez, Coordinator Behavior Intervention Special Education, effective July 23, 2018, by the following vote. Cruz, Na, Orozco, Fikes, voting yes, and Hernandez Blair absent. Voted to appoint Mark Hendren, Coordinator Technology, effective July 20th, 2018, by the following vote. Cruz, Na, Orozco, Fikes, voting yes, Hernandez Blair absent. Voted to appoint Samantha Hahn, Assistant Principal, Dixon Elementary School, effective July 24th, 2018, by the following vote. Cruz, Na, Orozco, Fikes, voting yes, Hernandez Blair absent. And voted to appoint Jessica Holbrook, Assistant Principal, Don Lugo High School, effective July 24th, 2018, by the following vote. Cruz, Na, Orozco, Fikes, voting yes, and Hernandez Blair absent. No further action was taken, which requires public disclosure.
Thank you. We have 3 of those 4 new employees in our audience tonight, and we'd like to recognize you. So have you come up and say a few words if you would like. So Samantha Hahn. Samantha is going to be our new assistant principal at Dixon Elementary, and she was an elementary teacher at Rolling Ridge.
Well, I would like to thank the board and the cabinet for this new opportunity. I've been privileged to be a part of the Aspiring Administrator Training Program, and I feel that that was such a valuable experience, and it's really helped me to get to this point. So I look forward to serving the kids of our district in this new role and capacity. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. And Mark Hendren, Technology Coordinator. He's served as a network technician in our district since 2015.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Enfield, Cabinet. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me serving the kids of the district as well. I really look forward, I'm really excited about this new position, and I look forward to fulfilling it in every way possible for the kids of Chino Valley Unified School District. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. And Katrina Gomez, who's going to be our new Behavior Intervention Program Coordinator, coming to us from Pasadena Unified, where she's served as the coordinator in special education.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. I just wanted to share how excited I am to be here and to be a new part of the Chino Valley Unified School District family. I also wanted to extend my appreciation to the superintendent, the board, and the cabinet for allowing me this opportunity. I come with experience as a school psychologist and an administrator with special education, and I have a great passion for working with students and their families, so I'm very much looking forward to this new role and taking on this new role and working with the students and families of the district. Thank you.
Thank you. And we warmly welcome all to their new positions. At this time, would Mrs. Paula Thomas, the principal from Rolling Ridge, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you. We are now at presentations. The first presentation is the Odyssey of the Mind students. Pull the microphone there you go, perfect, because you're taller.
All right. Good evening, CVUSD School Board guests and anyone else who just so happens to be here tonight. It has been an honor to be able to speak at this conference. As you may or may not know, early this year, we became Odyssey of the Mind World Champions. The competition was held in Iowa, so we had to ship both our props and ourselves over to the Hawkeye State for about a week. And as you may know, this was not cheap. But without your unwavering support, none of us would have had the chance to have our medal tested on the global stage that is the Mind Olympics. Flashback to the state awards ceremony where it was announced that runner-up teams should keep their props in the case that a finalist team didn't go. At first, this sounds like false hope, but after learning how much it costs to actually go to the World Finals, it's understandable that many runner-up teams go often because the World Finalist teams don't have sufficient funding. Fortunately for us, we had a supportive school district that was adamant that we achieve what we set our minds to. So now I'd like to take the time to note that you have inspired each and every one of us all throughout our childhoods and will continue to deeply impact us as we progress as young adults. You have consistently been there for not only us, but every single young, ambitious child in Chino Valley, not only through Odyssey of the Mind, but through everything we set our minds to. You are the beacon that guides us towards excellence, and we are forever grateful. So on behalf of all the parents, supporters, and us students of this Odyssey of the Mind team, thank you.
Is someone else going to speak?
If you guys have any questions.
Well, we'd like you to introduce yourself and tell us your name, your grade, what school you're currently attending, and the adult who's with you as well. Is there an adult with you? Two adults.
Yeah. All right. So my name's Johnny Zhao. Last year we were all at Canyon Hills. We were all 8th graders. Now I'm going into 9th grade at Ayala High School. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Lau Tiu. I am a current 9th grader. For next year, I came from Canyon Hills, and I'm going to Ayala High School.
Hi, I'm Brian. This year I'm going into Ayala High School as a 9th grader.
Were you at Canyon Hills last year?
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Braylon. I was from Canyon Hills last year, and I'm going to 9th grade at Mount Sac Academy.
Hello, my name is Ruben, and I'm also 9th grade. Came from Canyon Hills and is going to Mount Sac Academy.
And the adults?
Hello, I'm Michelle Sampat, and I have the pleasure of being one of the coaches for this incredible team.
And I'm Suge Sampat, and I was co-coach with my wife, Michelle, and wanted to thank the board for their support. It really meant a lot to the kids and to us. It was a wonderful experience, and we really appreciate your support. Thanks.
You want to come down to the front? Dawn, do you want them to come to the front? We step out unless.
No, we did emoji stick for yourself.
It is for presentation.
Well, before you leave, though, can you give me an idea of what it was what was your project or what?
Sure. So something that I feel like this is a great question, and thank you so much for asking it, because most people don't really know what Odyssey of the Mind is. If you were to consider it, think about like the Tales of the Odyssey. That's what it's based on. Basically, you have to use your mind, your will, your ideas inside to create something out of nothing. And in our case, we had to create something for Emoji Speak for Yourself. It is a skit where we are not allowed to talk at all, and instead we have to convey the story about a forgotten emoji and how it came back and what its whole story was based on 3 different emojis. Now, for us, the way that we presented this was through a very, I would love to say impactful story, I hope, about the Little Prince in the sense of depression, sadness, pain, and the way that someone goes through life from being an innocent child to growing up and realizing that the world is not perfect around you, and you start to crumble. But you still have hope in the end, and that's what we tried to convey. So the way that we use our emojis were originally based on the characters from the book. Our main character was the Little Prince. Our forgotten emoji was the rose, which symbolizes hope, his love for something in his life. As he continues on through his life, he first encounters the idea of becoming vain. Just because he was not perfect for himself, he needed more money. So he started taking more money from himself and leaving behind a rose. Each time he did something wrong, a rose petal fell from the ground, fell from the actual petal, rose. Our second one was going to become his want for more other than just money. He wanted to make himself beautiful, to stand out. Because in the end, just because you have money, it doesn't mean that you have real power. And he wanted to attain the respect of everyone by gaining that look. But then finally, he realized that this was wrong. But how could he escape it? For he had been living it throughout all of his life, aside from childhood. He went into alcoholism to escape the idea that he was anyone else. And through this alcoholism, he reveals that if he had been able to listen to what those text messages were all along from his mother or his actual rose, maybe things could have been different. So in his final moments, he dances out and dances a sorrowful dance of remembrance, of regret, of sorrow, and reaches out to his mother, the rose, in an attempt to try to go and re-immerse himself back into the life he wanted before.
Wow.
Mr. Cruz.
Impressive.
How much time did you have?
Truth be told, we,
The skit itself.
yeah, we started this, was it?
No, the skit.
The skit?
The skit was 8
Yeah,
minutes.
and it was random. You didn't know.
Oh no.
No, we had time to prepare.
We had time. We had months in ahead to prepare our own storyline, our own props, which we had to build ourselves. But then when it comes to actually performing it, we only have 8 minutes to do so. So you have to fit the whole story into that 8 minutes.
Although there is a random aspect in Odyssey, there's not just the long-term skit that we had to make. There's also this thing called spontaneous problems, where you're basically given a problem like, oh, what is blue? And you have to answer it in a creative way. So we were given 3 hands-on problems, and we did them to the best of our abilities. Yeah.
And that best became your champions.
Mm-hmm.
And you're dealing with how many schools you're dealing with throughout the nation?
Oh, it's not just the nation.
It's worldwide.
It was
It's
worldwide.
worldwide.
Oh, wow.
So you're dealing with how many schools?
We had
the best.
Attended the whole event, you guys remember?
There was around 800 teams, but for our division and our problem, there were only about like 30.
41.
There are 41 teams
Yeah.
from worldwide.
Worldwide,
Wow.
that were the best of the best in all their divisions.
Well, I tell you, it's amazing about our community. We're the best of everything, practically. I mean, it is really amazing. It really is.
Congratulations. Wow.
I would like to include a huge shout out to you and to your parents and to all your teachers, all the feeder schools into Canyon Hills. I've said this before, you guys are some of the most well-spoken students that we have had come before our board. I'm proud of you. I know you're going to have great success in high school, and thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you. Dr. Enfield, can you please introduce the next presentation?
Thank you, President Fikes. Tonight, I'm excited to be able to introduce Amy Perriott, the Director of Communications. A little while ago, I went to her and said, hey, I have a small little task for you and a new assignment to take over, and that is to redo the district website. Just a small little task. And she was very excited to take on that task. Tonight, she is going to present the new website, and I feel she's done a wonderful job of creating the new website. So I wanted her to share it with the board tonight and some of the thinking and rationale behind it. And so with that, Mrs. Perriott.
Thank you, Superintendent Enfield. Good evening, President Fikes, members of the board, cabinet, and community. I'm excited to be here tonight to be able to share the district's new website with you and give you a quick tour of its features. As Dr. Enfield mentioned, when I first began with the district, he emphasized to me the importance of this new website, and he made sure that it was one of the top priorities of the communications department. I hope you agree with me that the end result helps to achieve district goals. Some of you may have already seen a preview of the website last month when we were in our last phases of kind of configuring, putting our finishing touches on it. But as I give you a tour of our new website, I'd like to focus on 3 of its most important features. First, the website's design. Second, the website's ease of navigability. And third, and most important, the website's ability to increase the district's transparency to our general public. As we enter the home page, the first thing you'll notice is that the website looks different. No longer does the website have an infinity scroll where you have to keep scrolling forever to get the information that you need. Most of the information is provided as you first enter the website. The colors and the lines of the website are clean and consistent, and the photos and layout are eye-catching and engaging. Our internal pages also maintain this uniform look with the district logo at the top and the bottom to enhance the district's brand. I'll just give you an example of what that looks like. Oh my goodness. It's running extremely slow. I just clicked on it. Okay, I'll move on. I apologize. It's just running a little slow.
It's a very beautiful website.
Thank you. Okay, let me move on. The second feature I want to go over with you is the website's ease of navigability. No longer will it be difficult for users to find information on the website. This drop-down menu that you see is not just any kind of drop-down menu, it's actually called a mega menu. It's called a mega menu for a reason, and that's because the information, all of the information is visible when you hover over it, but take it a step further, and the information can be categorized into different columns. And I don't know why my screen is... Oh. So, for example, it's going slow, but I was going to show you departments, but let me just show you under About Us. We've categorized the different sections into an About Us section with pages that include the superintendent's page. I don't want to click on it because it looks like it's working right now. Boundaries and maps, and district reports. Let's try to do that again. I apologize. I think that there's just I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or what, it's running slow, so when I click on it, things are not, it's not responding as quickly. But let me continue. This mega menu allows users to find what they need in 1 click or less, or 2 clicks or less. Excuse me. Okay, let me backtrack. As far as the mega menu goes, what I was saying was that The mega menu allows the users to come to the website, hover over each of our channels, and see all the information that they might be looking for. So for example, they'll come to the website, hover over departments. All of our departments are listed, but not only are they listed, they are categorized into the divisions by column. So as you can see, all of the business services departments are listed on the first column, all the way to human resources to the right. So this helps with navigability because visitors to the website will find it easy to find what they need. Additionally, finding one of our schools has never been easier because this mega menu also applies to our school search. So up at the top here, when you click on select a school, we've got this beautiful mega menu of our schools. Our schools are not only available here, but they're also categorized into the different elementary, junior high, K-8, high school, etc. The bulk of the home page is filled with news and information, so the information is front and center, and hopefully, that will give the user the information that they're looking for as well. If we go to the bottom, we've created a shortcuts area where we've placed buttons and shortcut links to some of the most inquired about topics, the frequently asked topics. So we've got calendars available in one click, student enrollment, bus pass information, employment, Hope Family Resource Center, and the district calendar. And on the right side, we have the upcoming important dates and events happening in the district as well. If a visitor is not able to find information that they're looking for, they can go up to this Google-powered search bar that's really easy to use. You just type in the word that you're looking for, just like Google, and hit search, and it'll give you all of the options. The most important feature that I want to give you a tour of the website is how this website increases transparency to the general public. As I mentioned, the home page is filled with the news. It's filled with announcements. And additionally, in addition to that, contact information for all of our departments and all of our district personnel is available easily as well. I'll give you an example. If we click on any of our departments, the contact information will be available right underneath the home page on the left side. So that's fiscal services, for access and equity, contact information is available. And if I click on the contact information, you'll see that all of the contact information pages are also formatted in the same manner, so they look attractive. I don't know what just happened. Help. So I'll continue talking. As far as transparency, we also have one of our columns under About Us. We've got all of our district reports available here in one click. So it's front and center for people. And we also have a channel dedicated to connecting with our public, including addressing media inquiries, public information and records requests, and subscribing to our digital news magazine. I also want to point out that this is one platform where our public receives information, but with the advent and importance and prevalence of social media, that's more and more where people are getting their information, and we have very strong digital presence. So our social media channels are available right here on the website. So if you click on that, it'll take you directly to our Facebook page.
and then also to our Twitter page, YouTube, and Instagram. So this district website is a template that's going to be used across the district and applied to all of our schools. Let me give you an example. Let's do Ayala. As you can see, the only difference really, aside from in the design, is that Ayala, the schools will be using their school colors, and up at the top here, they will have their school logo. But the district logo will still be up at the top and at the bottom of all of the school pages to maintain the district brand. So I wanted to just, that concludes giving you the tour of the website. I wanted to emphasize that this has been a pleasure to work on. I know Dr. Enfield said, I mean, it's been a long process, but it's a pleasure to finally see some results. But even though I'm saying that this is the launch of our new complete website, a website is never really complete because it's ever changing. There's a lot of maintenance and management that's involved in the content, and it's a collaborative effort between the district, the schools, the school webmasters to make sure that we maintain what we've started. I hope you agree with me that this new website is an asset to the district. From a personal perspective, I feel that the website is an important tool for communications. It not only gives the public information that they might be looking for, that they need, but it also gives my office an opportunity to post all of the multimedia content that we want to create to showcase our district. In fact, one of the video content that my office just completed creating is a district showcase video that showcases all the best that our district has to offer. I've already uploaded it to the multimedia rotator on the district website, and I'd like to conclude this presentation by playing it for everybody.
For more than 150 years, Chino Valley Unified School District has been putting our students first, their education, their growth, and their safety. Today, our students receive a rigorous, relevant 21st century education in a safe learning environment.
When you visit our classrooms, you'll see 21st century education. Our curriculum consists of STEM, STEAM, project-based learnings, robotics, computer science, and engineering, just to name a few. In all of our classrooms, you'll see the infusion of technology.
Technology is used to enhance learning for our students and in turn allows them to become responsible digital citizens. We instill in our students a love for lifelong learning and the confidence that all of their goals are within their reach.
The way the district prepared us was they offered a large amount of AP classes where I was able to really try and challenge myself to further my academic rigor in order to get to the four-year college, university, whatever the case you wanted to do.
What happens inside the classroom is just a portion of what makes a successful student. Chino Valley Unified School District is nationally recognized for our sports and arts programs.
As a parent of elementary children, I really appreciate the music program that they offer. We have a nationally recognized drumline team, and I know there are many others that have been decorated throughout the years for their dedication to our music program.
I was really nervous to enter into a sport at a high school. I made the team and it was super exciting, and it just made me feel like I was even more involved in my school. The school just supports all their sports and backs you up. It just really makes that family-friendly environment that I've always wanted to be a part of.
We believe that building character is as important as building minds, that our students respect the ideas of other people while holding true to their own convictions. Collaboration and cooperation are key elements in our learning environment.
Our focus is positive behavior reinforcement. From an early age, the students are encouraged to make responsible decisions, which puts them on a path to becoming successful citizens.
There is a partnership between the parents and the teachers, making sure that every child is ready for college or for a career after high school.
We believe our students can learn. We recognize and nurture our students' unique strengths. We foster high expectations through excellent teaching and active learning. This is our philosophy, and it is built into the fabric of the educational mission at Chino Valley Unified School District.
That's nice.
Mr. Cruz.
The work you've done must have taken many months, and with your colleagues, what you have created a positive climate within our community. It's a good place to start, and seeing everything very, very innovative, a good feeling, good ease, uniqueness of it, a nice layout. At home, it loaded promptly, really well. So no problem with the prompt, but the interactive of the videos and photos, and then showing the excellence of the school district. I mean, that's excellent. And as the months and years go by, it's going to get better and better. And that video, that was very professional. You kind of laid that out.
I produced it,
Yeah, that was
and
good.
we employed contract
Yes.
video
It was
company.
very well done. A great positive climate.
Thank you. That's our goal.
Yeah.
Mr. Na.
Thank you. I mean, what a blessing to have you. This is awesome. I just keep looking at the video and looking at the students. And because of students we're here for, and yes, we need to focus on our students' success. And we're doing a great job. We got many teachers and many principals who really care for our children. Yes, sometimes life is not always fun, always beautiful, but in the end, everyone's intentions are here for all the parents, for their children, and your children are our children too. So thank you, Ami, for doing a great job in your video, and continue to make those sparking moments with the students and make connections with them. Thank you.
Mrs. Roscoe.
Thank you so much for getting our website manageable, because there was times where I would go into it several times and I couldn't find anything, and it was frustrating, and I would just simply call the district and ask the question rather than look it up. So, Dr. Enfield, thank you for spearheading that. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We are now at comments from employee representatives. I know ACT is not speaking tonight. Is CSEA speaking tonight? I saw Yvette Farley here. Oh, but she's not speaking either.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
It's going to be a short meeting.
Is Paul Rodriguez here tonight from Chino? No? And not Mike Krieger. Any other community liaisons or representatives who'd like to be heard? We are now at comments from the audience on items not on the agenda. Pat, are there any requests to speak on non-agenda items?
21 requests.
21, did you say?
Yes.
Thank you. Speakers will be called in the order the request was received. Please listen for your name and be prepared to approach the podium. Any comments on agenda items will be accepted during consideration of that item. Once the board has commenced deliberations on an issue, speaker cards will not be accepted. The board's very interested in your comments, but please bear in mind that the board typically does not respond to comments during this time on the agenda, as it is reserved specifically for public comments. Members may respond during board comments at the end. Mr. Na, will you explain the light system?
Yes, speakers, you have 3 minutes to make your comments. Please begin your comments at the green light. The yellow light indicates you have 30 seconds, and red light indicates your time is over. And before you begin your comments, please adjust the microphone. And audience members, please refrain from making comments while speakers are at the podium.
Speakers, please remember that in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, Bylaws of the Board Meeting Conduct, please limit remarks to 3 minutes total and limit remarks to new points. Board Policy 1312.1 contains the procedure for filing a complaint against a district employee. The first speaker is Victoria Licaro, followed by Liana Licaro.
Hi, my name is Ruben Licaro, and I go to Rhodes Elementary. Next year, I will be going to 6th grade. I don't want to be in a combo class. I want to be with my friends. I'm afraid the class will be noisy because of the teachers trying to teach 2 grades. I have friends who were in combo classes before, and they disliked it. They said that they didn't learn much. I want to be well prepared for middle school, and I feel that combos are not good or fair for my friends and I. My friends said they had about 30 minutes each day of walking from class to class and doing busy work. If we do the math, we would be losing about 91 hours of learning in a school year. This is why I don't want to be in a combo class. I hope you consider not having a combo class in my grade or any other grade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Victoria Licaro, and I am a student at Edwin Rhodes Elementary School. We heard that there was going to be 5th and 6th grade combo classes this year, and I am going into 5th grade. I do not want to be with 6th graders. Having combo classes are not good because it will be hard for the 5th graders to learn when the 6th graders are doing more advanced learning. I also want to ask that you please put some trees in the field to give us shade on hot days. I also want to thank you for putting a walkway in the parking lot so that we might be more safe in the morning as we walk to school. Thank you and have a good night.
Liana Licaro.
Hello, I'm Liana Licaro, and I am currently attending Chino High. I would first like to start off by thanking you for all that you have done for Rhodes Elementary, Magnolia Junior High, and Chino High School. I am a sophomore at Chino High, class of 2021, and on behalf of most students, we want to say thank you for the new remodeled school that is currently being built. However, for those of us who might not see the new school, we would like to see some improvements if possible. One of the things that almost every student dreads at Chino High is something we like to call Lake Chino. During January and February, when it rains really heavily, the lack of drains and plumbing causes big puddles to form, causing us to be soaked almost to our knees, which causes most of us to get sick. And it becomes such a big problem sometimes that we can't walk through safely from class to class. And that brings me to another point, which is an unnecessary gate. For those of you who have been to Chino High, next to the attendance office, there's this gate that really serves no purpose. It just causes this traffic jam that causes us to run into each other, trip, and because all of us are rushing from class to class, it causes most of us to get trampled or hurt or punched or smacked by a backpack. Other than being a student at Chino High, I'm also in the band, and on behalf of the band, we would like to say thank you for all the money donations that you've given us. But we have yes, or someone said something. Oh, but we also have a lack of money. Our instruments are literally falling apart. Sometimes there's a lockers full of these instruments that are literally crumbling to pieces, and we can't save them because we don't have any money to do anything. This year we only got one instrument fixed out of almost 100 students. So it's just a point I would like to bring up. And thank you.
Tiffany Ostruck, followed by Kayla Ostruck, followed by Marissa Munoz.
Good evening, Superintendent Enfield, President Fikes, members of the board and cabinet. I thank you in advance for your time today. My name is Tiffany Ostruck. Both of my daughters attend CVUSD schools, one at Canyon Hills and the other one at Ayala. Today, our group is here to present a concern with the Ayala High School sports program. An incident that is far too common, emotional and psychological abuse of athletes at the hands of their coaches. The parents for the Ayala girls basketball team has formally filed a complaint with a list of grievances to the district against Coach Amy Campbell and her coaching staff. We are currently awaiting the investigation to be complete and the district HR to provide their findings. I implore the board to consider the matter at hand and the young women that are being affected by their coaches. Women should build other women up. We are teaching our daughters confidence and showing them that we are willing to fight for them. I assure you, Coach Campbell has been given many chances to redeem herself. I gave her an opportunity in April to change, but she reverted back to her old bullying ways and name-calling. She's not fit for the program and should not be extended a contract. We need to be proactive and not allow other children to be hurt. There are many characteristics of an abusive coach. Here are just a few that we've seen. Regularly uses public embarrassment, bullying, and humiliation. Only cares about athletes as performers, not as individuals. Consistently leaves athletes feeling bad about themselves. Coaches through fear and intimidation. Rarely uses praise or positive feedback. Is a yeller or poor communicator. Demeans the athletes in passive-aggressive nature. Uses excessive conditioning as punishment. The amount of girls that have left the program currently totals 8 in this year. This indicates a problem with the program. One girl is so fearful of her coach, she's going to another school to play. Other girls play on a travel basketball team instead of at Ayala. Incoming freshmen that are in the Ayala School District go to Chino Hills High because of the reputation of the coach. Amongst the 8, 2 girls leave the program after standing tall against the mistreatment of the players on the team from a coach that claimed that she loved them. We are here to ask for your support and put pressure on the school site to do the right thing. We hope your influence can show these girls that you are on their side. Please be reminded, our children have a right to feel safe at their school and from bullying. Title 5, Section 4600.
Kayla Ostrike, followed by Marissa Munoz, followed by Celine Nava.
Hi, members of the board. My name is Kayla Ostrike, and I'm going to be a junior at Ayala High School. I'm going to read you a letter that I wrote to Coach Campbell a couple weeks ago. I've thought about what I'm going to say for a couple days now, and after this past weekend in San Diego, my feelings have been solidified. I put my energy into basketball because I love the sport. I'm letting you know that as of today, I will no longer play for the Ayala girls basketball team. I am leaving the sport that I love so much primarily for self-preservation. I need to do this so that I can find joy again. I've told you personally that this past year was very difficult for me. I've had a lot of anxiety and depression, and this program no longer makes me happy. When entering my freshman year, I knew that I wasn't the best player on the team, but I came onto the team loving the game and willing to learn. I was determined to improve my game and my basketball skills. I enjoyed going to practice, playing in tournaments and league games. Coach Jardine was a great mentor, and he was always encouraging to me and my teammates, pushing us out of our comfort zone. Winning league was one of the best moments all season. Although there were personal issues with some of the other girls, we were able to resolve these issues and grew stronger as a team. This past year, the basketball program has made me feel bad about myself. It felt like I was not learning anything new, and honestly, it felt like the team was getting worse. The final straw was being pulled up to play varsity summer league. Initially, I was very excited to learn, and honestly, I have felt that you have been nothing but discouraging and bullied me in front of the other players. Everything I say or do is wrong. My presence, for some reason, makes you mad all the time. I try to do everything to please you, and yet I feel bad about myself every day. Other teammates even commented over the weekend that I am treated the worst, and they don't understand why. This speaks volumes and reinforces my feelings on why I don't think you like me. This past weekend, I was not given any type of positive reinforcement. The only thing was about how terrible of a basketball player I am. You even stated that I was useless on the team and threatened to put me back down on JV if I didn't play better. You don't seem to care that your words cut into me and have done nothing but damage my spirit. You tell me that I am weak every chance you get, but I assure you I am very strong. I have been strong enough to ignore your insults and pulled from the strength of my friends and family to get me through these dark times. I kept believing that things would get better, but they didn't. It has come to a point in my life where I don't respect the way you treat me and my friends. I will do what is best for me, and sacrificing the game of basketball is my first steps. You have left me no alternatives. At UCLA camp last week, there Their motto was, "I am woman." The UCLA coach stated that their main focus was the women and that being a basketball player is secondary. As a woman, I will not be told that I am not strong, that I give up, and that I am not good at anything. I am proud of myself and that I can stand up to you today because it proves my strength. The verbal abuse and bullying you have put me through this weekend is unacceptable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marissa Munoz, followed by Celine Nava, followed by Jade Anastasia.
Hello, my name is Marissa Munoz. I'd also like to read you the letter that I wrote to Coach Campbell. Coach Campbell, I started basketball in the 6th grade. I fell in love with the sport. I've had countless coaches tell me that I had the potential to be something great, and that if I wanted it enough and I worked hard enough, I'd be able to go far. When I came to Ayala, I was excited for a new set of challenges. I came here ready to learn. I learned pretty quickly that this program was based on fear rather than respect. As summer came to an end, I saw a different side of Ayala basketball. I was told that wins and losses didn't matter, but in the end they really did. I gave everything that I had to this program, and I worked my butt off every single practice. I was told that my best wasn't good enough. I've run countless 17s for a mistake that was never explained to me. That night on the bus when you told the JV team that you're embarrassed of us and that we didn't work hard this year is when I finally realized that the work I put in didn't matter. I've been through a tough time this year, and I understand that I haven't told you about it, but that's only because I saw what you did to Kayla. Knowing her struggles at home, you continued to make smart remarks about her not being tough, saying that her body couldn't handle it. That made me scared to even open up to you. When you picked me up to practice and play with varsity, I was hopeful again. I was hopeful to know that I'd be able to learn something, and I did. From the weekend in UCLA to the camping trip in San Diego, I realized that this program isn't for me, and that I do not want to live in fear. You think that some of these girls are your friends, but in the end, they're only nice to you because they do not want to run. After a really hard year, I needed to learn how to love myself again, and being in this program has stopped me. If it wasn't for the amazing friendships and family, I don't think I'd have the courage to stand up to you today, because I know now that it's not okay for you to treat us this way. I came to this program with a love for basketball, and now I don't even want to step out on the court. You can shake off whatever I've told you and say we just quit because we couldn't handle it. But in the end, you know that there needs to be a change in this program, because we're just another girl who left because of you. Board, I ask you that we do not accept, coaches have a certain amount of power over our players, and we seem to ignore the abusive comments that they make to us. I ask that you truly put your students first. Thank you.
Thank you.
Celine Nava, followed by Jade Anastasia, followed by Adrian Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Celine Nava, and I played for Ayala's girls basketball my freshman year and this summer. My freshman year, I played on JV with Barry Apsek as my head coach. I've experienced many incidents while playing for Ayala's girls basketball that have made me feel uncomfortable and mistreated. First off, I would like to talk about Barry Apsek, the head JV coach and now husband of Amy Campbell, the head of Ayala's girls basketball program. There was an incident that occurred at the Best of the West tournament where us players had been working. I was sitting on the bleachers waiting for my next shift with a few of my teammates as Coach Apsek approached me as I was wearing Nike yoga shorts. After approaching me, he proceeded to lay both of his hands on my inner thighs and continued to bring his face closer towards mine to speak to me about my next shift. This made me feel uncomfortable and frightened due to fearing of what he could have done next. As a young woman, I believe and know Barry Apsek could have approached me in a different manner without having to lay hands on me and getting closer than usual. I felt I could not speak up about this situation because I was afraid of the punishment. To add on, I would like to speak about how Coach Apsek bullied us. There has been multiple times where he has made unnecessary remarks and has made it clear to myself and a few other teammates that he likes to pick on us in those exact words. There has also been multiple times where he has put us down for losing games, lowering our self-esteem. He has also given up on us multiple times during games and has told us to figure it out ourselves. I've also witnessed multiple times where he has been racist to players of colors, which is very disheartening. Overall, Coach Barry Apsek has ruined my passion and heart for the game of basketball and has messed with my head mentally. Moving on, I would now like to speak about Coach Amy Campbell, the varsity coach and head of Ayala's girls basketball program. Amy Campbell has failed to support the JV team and put no effort into JV girls basketball. She continued to pay her full attention to varsity and was not looking to help out JV. I have also witnessed Amy Campbell bully not only our players, but players from other schools. A great example would be when Coach Campbell called a player from Glendora High School Big Mac because of her physical appearance. There was also another incident when we were in the team room watching game film, and she pointed out a player of color on our varsity team and stated that she could not see her because she blended in with the black padding on the wall, and Coach Campbell laughed at her in front of all of our teammates, embarrassing her. Is this the future you want to see for your kids? I hope this has opened up your eyes to what has been going on and for you to take action to make a difference in many girls' lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jade Anastasia, followed by Adrian Gonzalez, followed by Sal Nava.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jade Anastasia, and I'm here to discuss the issues of the Ayala basketball program. In the last year, there has been so much going on. These coaches are bullies. They aren't good role models for high school girls. They tear our team apart. There's no encouragement to help our team grow. This isn't a safe environment for us. I am on the JV girls basketball team, and from what I saw in 1 year makes me not want to return, but I am not a quitter. Coach Absack and Coach Campbell got married. Coach Absack is the JV coach, and Coach Campbell is the varsity coach. Coach Absack is scared of the wife. Anytime we mention something to Coach Campbell about her husband, she yells at Coach Absack, and he takes his anger out on our team. Coach Absack gives up on us during games. He walks in us unchanging room twice. He throws things at us when he gets angry, and he disrespects us. Coach Absack does not know how to do weights. I hurt my back doing deadlifts. He told me how to do it wrong. He said it was right, but why did my back hurt? Coach Absack claims the two JV and varsity teams are equal. But if that were true, she would have come to some of our practice and games. She called the JV team comical to watch. She also told the JV team we don't work hard. Monday through Saturday, we practiced for 4 hours each day, and we gave it our all. If she bothered to show up to one practice, she would have seen that. The dictionary defines role model as a person to be looked at by others as an example to be imitated. If Coach Absack and Coach Campbell are making fun of our team, giving up in the middle of games, cursing at us, yelling at each other, throwing things at us, goes on the phone during practice, not supporting us, and calling us names, this is even half the stuff that is going on in our program. How are these people supposed to be good role models? How is it a safe environment for high school girls? By doing these things, it is not okay. It is not okay. I do not like these people. A coach needs to be encouraging and a good role model to represent the team. And I don't want to be like these people because they are not good role models. Thank you.
Thank you.
Adrian Gonzalez, followed by Sal Nava, followed by Dana Anastasia.
Hello. My name is Adrian Gonzalez, and my daughter is a player at Ayala. Well, she's not a player anymore because of the coach. Now, I've been coach for a while, and I know what a good coach is and what a bad coach is. She's a bad coach. I wouldn't consider her a coach. And let me read what my daughter has said. She says, "Hello, my name is Ariana Gonzalez. I'm not able to be here today, but wanted my voice heard and only hope positive changes are made for the girls' basketball program. Last year, I was a freshman and was on the girls' varsity basketball team as a starter. I was excited to play for my high school basketball team and expected to have a lot of fun playing for my hometown that I grew up in, except it turned out to be the complete opposite. Being an overall athlete since the age of 9, in multiple sports, I've had my share of tough coaches, but Coach Campbell was very mean and cruel to us. Most of our practices consist of running punishments for little mistakes we made at practice." Okay, I'm an emotional guy, and I could go on with this, but I would probably cry. I don't want to do that. She's not a good coach. She should be removed. I was looking at your video that this lady made, and it was saying that there's good teachers, students. That's not the case with this woman. She's negative. Nobody wants to play for her. Everyone's dropping out. I had a group of girls that I coached from small brought them up. We had high hopes for this year, and in high school, and we probably would win CIF, but she ruined that. A couple of girls are going to other schools because of her. My daughter does not want to play no more, and I don't know what else to say, but I know that various complaints have been made about this woman, and nothing's been done. So why? Why hasn't she been removed? It's not that hard. She is a coach for baseball. She can do that. We're not asking for her to not be a coach. Not be a teacher. She could be a teacher, but she's not a good coach. I have many years of experiencing coaches, and there's a difference between being enthusiastic about the sport and another thing for doing it for herself.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sal Nava, followed by Dana Anastasia, followed by Jeff Anastasia.
Good evening. My name is Salvador Nava. I'm here in behalf of all these girls. Honestly, all I can tell you is that something needs to be done. The girls, you hear the girls' story. It kills me. It really does. I don't really want to approach the coach because I know I'm not going to like what I hear. So I stay back. I leave it to you. We're crying for help. That's all I can really tell you, is that we're crying for help. And you guys say it's the kids. That's why I'm here. I would love, just look into it a little bit. See what can be done. Something needs to happen. It's just not right. I've been involved. I've been a board member 16 years doing baseball. I know how all this goes. If you can't pick kids up, who are you going to pick up? They're our lives. I'm very proud of my daughter. I'm very proud of all these girls to come here and tell you what they're feeling. It hurts my heart, not only as a parent, but as a human being. You guys that are parents knows what it's like. I'm more than positive. Something needs to be done. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dana Anastasia, followed by Jeff Anastasia, followed by Seth Gerdine.
Good evening, Superintendent Norman Field, President Pamela Fikes, and members of the board. My name is Dana Anastasi. I am here as an Ayala parent. We've had good experiences. My older daughter graduated Ayala and now attending APU. She played on the Ayala varsity tennis team. We had a fantastic experience with Coach Ojinawa, except until now. My daughter is that daughter there. Well, not your daughter, my daughter. Varsity coach Campbell and her husband, JV coach Absek, called Jay dipstick and bonehead. Mr. Absek went into the girls' team room twice while the change sign was up and the girls were not dressed. They did not have pants on. Absek throws clipboard in frustration at the games, kicks chairs, pushes basketballs into walls, and Coach Absek uses profanity at practices and games. The girls attempted to follow the chain of command demanded by the athletic director, Mr. Reed. Unfortunately, when the girls attempted to talk to Mrs. Campbell, who they're supposed to talk to, the JV coach's husband, they were yelled at, ridiculed, and demeaned by their JV coach for going to his wife. Mr. Absek said, "Why did you tell on me?" In fear of retribution on themselves and getting the team in trouble, none of these girls were able to stand up for themselves. A little bit about my daughter. Jade has neurofibromatosis. It's NF for short. It's a neurological disorder. Jade has several learning disabilities and developmental issues with her large muscles. When Jade was in kindergarten through 5th grade, she had adapted PE, speech therapy, occupational therapy. She was pulled out for math and reading. When she was 3 to 6 years old, when she would walk, she'd trip over her feet and fall. Early intervention with adapted PE was crucial. The district has been there for us since kindergarten, helping this girl be the woman that she is today. For Jade to be on the basketball team is a huge success story. She could actually bounce a ball and run when she tripped over her feet in kindergarten. For her to be a 3.8 GPA in honors English is a fantastic success story. Jade has to work harder than other students for her grade. She goes before school, after school, lunch team to talk to her teachers. She has an awesome IEP team, thanks to Mrs. Sabara and the team at Ayala High School. Due to her disabilities, Jade is covered under the American Disabilities Act. We believe Coach Campbell and her husband acted together and called her these names, Dipstick and Bonehead, because they knew she had disabilities. They can see she has difficulty on the court handling the ball. I spoke to Coach Campbell in the fall and told her about Jade's learning disabilities and begged her for help with honors histories, which she ended up having to drop honors history because she couldn't get the help she needed. Let's work together.
Thank you.
Jeff Anastasia, followed by Seth Gerdine, followed by Barbara Hale.
Hi, my name is Jeff Anastasia. If I could just echo what my wife was just saying about our daughter. It's been an uphill battle the entire time. She's working through her disabilities, and really she doesn't need a coach calling her dipstick and bonehead. It's hard enough. There's been a great movement to stop bullying amongst kids, bullying each other, calling each other names, stuff like that. And here we got a coach doing it to a child. You know, a coach is supposed to be someone in a position of authority, someone you're supposed to, look up to, someone, a role model. And a role model is calling you bonehead and dipstick. That's just not right. Something's got to be done. I used to really like Coach Absack, as a person. Thought he was okay as a coach. But then I hearing him walking in on the girls when they're changing. First time, okay, maybe that's excusable. Maybe it was an accident. Second time, I don't know. That just doesn't seem right to me. Something's got to be done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seth Gerdine, followed by Barbara Hale, followed by Laura Gerard.
Thank you, board members, for seeing me today. Briefly introduce myself. It's Seth Gerdine. I never had a speech prepared today because I wasn't actually planning on speaking to any of you guys. A brief history about myself. My family marched in Birmingham. They signed Martin Luther King Day into existence, and we stayed on those pillars. My family, and the reason why I tell you that is because my family understands what prejudice looks like. My family understands what abuse of power looks like. And how do I relate to all these girls here? I was their coach 2 years ago. It's been 2 seasons now. I walked away to go coach collegiately, and I know a little bit about coaching. I've won a couple of championships. I've won conference championships. I've won national titles. The rings go on and on. I'm telling you right now, I know what a good coach is and what a bad coach is. And the majority of these girls speaking here aren't talking about the X's and O's. They're not. That's not what makes a good coach. I'm a collegiate coach, not because of what I know X's and O's wise, it's because of my philosophy. I sat here and coached these girls 2 years ago, and we won a league championship. We lost our first 8 games, and I never gave up, not once. And we kept at it. And how did we win? I encouraged them every bit of the way. It didn't matter if you made a mistake. Mistakes happen. That's life. We had a group of young men come up here and talk about their play, where they said not everything in life is going to be okay. Not everything in life is perfect. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. That message reverberates right now. Show these ladies that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Support these ladies and let them know that their voices aren't going to be stomped out in the night. That their voices matter. It took a lot of courage for these 14, 15, 16-year-old young women to come up here and speak to you today. They need to be heard. And not just heard, something needs to be done. I know in January, Madam President, you asked the members of the audience to support Ayala basketball as they were making their run for playoffs. Support these women now. Support these women now. Thank you.
Barbara Hale, followed by Laura Gerard, followed by Terry Merrick.
Hi, good evening. My name is Barbara Hale. Tonight, I, along with the administrative team from Sycamore Academy in Wildemar, are delivering a new charter petition for the Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts, Chino Valley. As you know, I've been before this board previously, and I've shared with you some of my background. I'm a Chino native and a Don Lugo graduate. Currently, I'm the executive director of Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts in Wildemar, and I'm the president of the Riverside County Board of Education. I have dedicated my adult life to education. It is my belief that, above all, every student deserves engaging and memorable education. In order to deliver students an education that is both engaging and memorable, professional educators must collaborate on various levels with a variety of people. People that may disagree on many things, but ultimately agree that putting educational, social, and emotional needs of students and families first is for the betterment of each student and for the greater good of the community. I truly hope that tonight begins a new chapter of collaboration and cooperation between the people of Chino Valley Unified School District and the Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts. I had the privilege to hear Mr. Joseph speak fondly of a now defunct charter school, and I was happy to hear him say that not only was he charter friendly, but so is Chino Valley Unified School District, the elected representatives, and the district employees. Mr. Joseph was clear that Chino Valley has always welcomed and would approve the right charter school petition, and has done so twice. I am confident that the charter petition for Sycamore Academy Chino Valley is the right charter petition at the right time for the right reasons and in the right district. This charter petition is very similar to the existing school in Wildemar that has been academically successful and financially sound for 10 years. Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts is a school that has been successful for students both academically and socially, and we will continue that same level of success in Chino. This petition addresses all of the findings by the district, the county, and the state. We are beginning this process earlier to address the facility issues. You will see that every change that was suggested has been addressed, and you made the recommendations, and we've listened. Sycamore Academy Chino Valley will be a student-centered school, a school that believes in and practices community involvement and inclusion, a school that is a partner, that wants to be a partner with the school district, a school that is fiscally responsible, and a school where students are high academic and social achievers. I look forward to a collaborative working relationship. Where do you want your petition?
You could just leave it there.
Okay.
Laura Gerard, followed by Terry Merrick, followed by Jeff Morabito.
Good evening, Superintendent Infield and board members. My name is Laura Gerard, and I'm the Director of Operations at Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts in Wildemar. I am honored to be here before you tonight for the petition of Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts, Chino Valley. As the Director of Operations, it is my responsibility to ensure that the facilities provide an opportunity for an inspiring learning environment for all students and is an integral part of the community. Dr. Infield, on the district's website, it states that it is a priority to enable the students to thrive in an atmosphere that is safe and secure. This includes everything from safety on campus and school crime prevention to positive culture and climate. This position of yours and of the district's is the same position that I have in the position of Sycamore Academy. I can assure you that we will bring this dedication to safety and security to our Chino Valley School. I've had the opportunity to engage with many members of the Chino Valley community while searching for possible locations for our school. I found several locations that would meet the high standards that Sycamore Academy and the district share while providing students and families with a safe and secure school facility. I truly hope that tonight begins a new chapter of cooperation between the Chino Valley Unified School District and Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts. It is my belief that once you have had an opportunity to read the petition, you will agree that Sycamore Academy will fill a need that every community has, being another quality school. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Terry Merrick, followed by Jeff Morabito, followed by Rick Viennes.
Good evening. My name is Terry Merrick, and I'm the Director of Student Support Services at Sycamore Academy in Cultural Arts in Wildemar. I am excited to be here before you tonight on behalf of Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts, Chino Valley. As the Director of Student Services, I have the privilege and responsibility to ensure equity in education for those students that are historically underrepresented or even disenfranchised in public education. Dr. Enfield, I am so happy to read your message posted on the district's website. I particularly like where you say our philosophy is that students always come first. Our emphasis on positive behavioral intervention systems means that our schools and classrooms are positive learning environments where all students can develop the social, emotional, and academic needs to learn and thrive. Dr. Enfield, I assure you that at Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts feel exactly as you do. Sycamore Academy will be a school for all students. All of our special needs students and students in the general education will get a great education. We agree with Chino Valley that the role of the special education department is to ensure the unique needs of students with disabilities are met through designated services, supports, and programs. Special education services are provided to students eligible under the state and federal guidelines at no cost to families. The core purpose of special education is to provide specially designated instruction and intervention in order for students with a disability to access their education in the least restrictive environment possible. I truly hope that tonight begins a new chapter between the Chino Valley Unified School District and Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts, Chino Valley. I am excited for you to read the petition so that you can see the amazing program that is in store for all students, including those that are historically underrepresented or even disenfranchised in public education. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Jeff Morabito, followed by Rick Viennes, followed by Steve Zalia.
Good evening, Superintendent Enfield, board members, employees, and guests. My name is Jeff Morabito, and I'm the Director of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment at the Sycamore Academy Science and Cultural Arts in Wildemar. I am honored to be here before you tonight on behalf of the Sycamore Academy of Science and Cultural Arts in Chino Valley. I'm excited about the new charter petition that you have before you. I'm particularly proud of the educational opportunities that await the future students of Sycamore Academy in Chino. Educators often use buzzwords like rigor, relevance, stamina, and others to describe intended learning environment. Too many times it makes for a contrived learning environment. At Sycamore Academy, we know that everyone, especially students, learn more and have a deeper understanding when they like what they are doing. When students truly like what they are doing, students are engaged vigorously in the learning experience. When students are interested, they take action and dig deeper. Students that approach learning with vigor are able to design their own experiments, collaborate with their peers, and communicate their conclusions. We use the best curriculum. Of course, everything is aligned to the California Common Core state standards and next generation science standards. We are serious about technology, including cyber safety and etiquette, engineering and coding, and we are one-to-one with computers. Students are immersed in a program that is engaging and requires action and involvement by the student every step of the way. Students are given challenges, projects, and problems to solve every day. And importantly, students are encouraged, supported, and listened to. This all sounds good, right? Okay, well, what about results? Well, I personally cannot wait for the CAS scores and the school dashboard to be released. You see, I have seen our SBAC scores, and I have compared the data, and I was smiling the entire time. The results from the 2017-18 SBAC scores will show that the Sycamore students continue to grow, and will show the Sycamore students are academic leaders in our school district. As for the dashboard, we expect to see blue and green pie charts everywhere. I thank you for this time tonight, and I look forward to building a collaborative relationship with you in the Chino Valley Unified School District. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick Viennes, followed by Steve Zalai.
Good evening, Cabinet. Madam President, thank you for taking the time to listen to me. My name is Rick Valines. I've been a member or a resident here, and I brought up 3 children through your school district, and they're all doing very well. Thank you very much. I'm just here to introduce to you guys the sport of pickleball. It is the #1 growing sport right now in the United States. Just this year long, it's had a 27% growth rate. Pickleball is played on a court that's slightly smaller than a tennis court. You can actually get 3 pickleball courts on 1 tennis court. And currently, I know that it's being taught at Chino Hills High School for their PE programs. And I was talking to the students here at Canyon Hills, and they also learn it for PE in the 7th grade. We just want to introduce the sport to you and hopefully have further meetings to possibly talk about getting some facilities within the school district that we can get some pickleball facilities set up here in the Chino Valley. Thank you for your time, and we have some brochure that would leave with you at the conclusion of Steve's talk. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Zolai. I'm a pickleball coach in Orange County, and I live in Chino Hills, and I work with Rick, and also we have some other pickleball member, and I would like to introduce the game in Chino if give us a chance to using any kind of tennis court. We can put some temporarily line and portable net and inviting people for the game. We have a very, very high-end players. We can do the very good presentation for the game. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Peter Atwood, followed by the final speaker, Elena Lacaro.
Well, good evening. I was going to speak about SPED as usual, but I guess I still am. We've heard about a lot of trees today. I guess I want to talk about the forest. We already know from Irene's discussion what the district thinks about problems and what to do about them. We know from the people here, this is not the first time that you guys are hearing about what was going on over there with that basketball program. You probably heard more than you heard before, but it's been going on throughout the year, obviously, and nobody's done anything about it. They wouldn't have come here unless they've been talking to them and nothing was happening about it. And of course, and it's the same thing in special ed. We just settled the case. I put in a public records request to find out how much the district spent fighting us on over $400. We've settled that one, and there's probably 3 or 4 others that I know about that are my kids, and I don't know how many others that you're spending money on lawyers in order to make sure the kids don't get what they need. So it's pretty much there. However, we're swallowing Yorkshire Terriers. I'm just going to mention a camel, which is being swallowed here, which is probably why the district is so good at swallowing Yorkshire Terriers. And so I look at this, I saw this. Mr. Cruz responded, when I just mentioned as an aside, Mr. Cruz responded last time out that what was happening to these kids was just a manufactured crisis. When I saw this, the New York Times on July 15th, it's entitled, "Scrubbing Toilets and No Hugging. A Migrant Child's Days in Detention." This is what is called a manufactured crisis. Do not misbehave. Do not sit on the floor. Do not share your food. Do not use nicknames. Also, it is best not to cry. Doing so might hurt your case. This is what they're being subjected to. This is what is called a manufactured crisis. This is how this is just being blown off. Now, if board members are willing to take this kind of horror and blow it off by calling it a manufactured crisis, I guess I shouldn't be shocked that when the special ed department for the past 11 years that I know of has systematically been ruining the lives of kids by denying what they need, I guess I shouldn't be too shocked. But I still am shocked. I just can't get over it. I hope that the district sees and actually addresses this kind of thing. And as the Prophet Malachi said, consider your ways. These people and lots of others like them.
Elena Lacaro.
Hello. Today I'm here and I'm really, my jaw just opens wide because I wasn't planning to talk about this, but seeing everything that happened, it really coincides with what I have to say today. First of all, I want to acknowledge you, Mr. New Superintendent. Thank you for taking the baton and starting this new era. I also want to acknowledge each one of these members. You have a great team. You really do. I met with them, I worked with them in different committees, many of these different committees. And I have to say, I do acknowledge each one of you because you cannot please everyone. But you're going to do your best, I know. And I have faith that you will do your best to serve our kids and not to go to sleep without you really realizing that you are being called to a greater deed, which is to provide for safety and security and the best of this generation. And I believe in you. And because of that, I'm also here because I got involved in the district for one reason. And the reason was back in the time for the bullying issue. A second grader was bullied in the restroom in the Rhodes Elementary. This grandmother who was raising her foster kid child was put in this position. She followed the order of command. She went to the principal. The principal told her if she would say anything, she would be banned from the campus. Here you have a parent who's a grandparent trying to raise the child. She was in tears. She came to me, and I went ahead and tried to read this handbook that we get every year, the handbook for how to file a grievance. One of the things, Mr. Superintendent, revisit this. This is not friendly. This is very unfriendly. It does not allow a clear passage on how to follow procedures. All of us here who need to file a grievance, this is a stopping block. Second of all, when I went through the grievance process with her, and I sat with her through all these meetings, she was re-victimized. She had the emotional, social endurance of having to see herself, see her child, her grandchild cry every night and wake up in nightmares. We should have something there where they're being counseled as the investigation is going through. There should be some kind of therapy. There should be some kind of counseling, because during that time, that period, while the investigation is taking place, they should know that the district is looking out for them even though the investigation is not done. So I need you to please look after that. And the other thing is my little ones came to do the combo classes, and I will tell you this much. They really mean it. Why have a parent, a teacher, who has to teach and then deal with bullies at the same time and deal with the combo class? They said, no, we need something more than that. So thank you, Mr. Statura. Thank you, Ms. Grace. Thank you, everyone who's here, for being this team, because I do have faith in you, and you've been prayed for every single night. And so with that, I thank you. I brought my whole family, all the Lucaros, to talk tonight, because we believe in you.
Thank you.
We are now at changes and deletions. Pat, are there any changes or deletions?
The following deletion is on the agenda: Facilities Planning and Operations, item 3D4, page 116, bid 171835F, former El Rancho Elementary School HVAC Energy Management System Controls Project. This item is pulled from the agenda.
Thank you. We're now at action items. Pat, please announce the first item.
Item 2A1, application for funding of consolidated categorical programs for the 2018-2019 school year.
Recommend the Board of Education approve the application for funding of consolidated categorical programs for the 2018-2019 school year. Are there any speakers?
No speakers.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes with a vote of 4-0. Next item.
Item 2A2, LCAP Federal Addendum.
Recommend the Board of Education approve the LCAP Federal Addendum. Are there any speakers?
No speakers.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Comments, questions, or discussion from board members? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes with a vote of 4-0. Next item.
Item 2B1, public hearing and adoption of resolution 2018-2019-06, provisional internship permit.
Recommend that the Board of Education, A, conduct a public hearing, And B, adopt resolution 2018-2019-06, provisional internship permit. I now open the public hearing at 8:24 p.m. Do we have any speakers?
There are no speakers.
I now close the public hearing at 8:25 p.m. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes with a vote of 4-0. That concludes the action items. We are now at consent. Ms. Pat, are there any speakers on consent
There are no
items?
speakers.
Okay. Board members, do you have any polls? Mrs. Orozco?
None.
Mr. Cruz?
None.
Mr. Na?
I have none.
And I have none. So, I need a motion to approve these items?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item passes with 4-0. We're now at information items. Are there any questions or comments on the information items? We are powering through. We are now at board member and superintendent communications. Mrs. Orozco.
Okay, so first let me get started with my typical retirement announcements. So beginning with Cynthia Daly, 21 years of service, elementary teacher, Butterfield Ranch. Dana Burkert, 27 years of service, special ed, Magnolia. Eula Baker, 42 years of service, nutritional services assistant at Chino Hills High School. Marvin Tapia, 34 years of service, grounds equipment operator, maintenance. Cynthia Burks, 22 years of service, admin secretary, professional development. Congratulations to all of you. Good luck as you start a new chapter in your life, and enjoy. Just a couple of comments. I attended the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce installation, and a very nice event. We need to really assist in participating with the chamber, because they're really trying to promote our businesses within the city. So that was a nice event. Two quick comments. First of all, within the agenda, the amended contracts, I want to thank you for including the rationale for the amendment. And sometimes we forget to include that, so I appreciate that inclusion. And finally, I just want to say that I can assure the speakers this evening that the district will look into those comments that were made, some disturbing comments that were shared this evening, and your voices will be heard. And with that, I will conclude my comments.
Thank you. Mr. Cruz.
Yes, yeah, it is true. You know, the students' voices do matter, and I will assure that the community, that the school district is engaged on this matter. Okay. You know, I attended, you know, Veterans Park, you know, an exciting event with parents and their children. Great time, a very great time. And also the Odyssey of the Mind, and actually you parents too. And parents, what I felt was love. And the greatest love is, there's no greater love than to lay one's life for one's friend. And that's what I noticed, that's what I felt when the parents were talking. And it came from the heart, what came from your soul. So thank you very much, thanks. I'd like to talk about something that I feel is very important. It's going to take roughly 5 minutes. So, I mean, this means a whole lot to me. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about vaccines. Okay, so it'll probably take 5 minutes. So on July 10, 2018, Samoa halts vaccines for MLR after 2 babies died. So let me go back. On February 28th, California Senate Committee on Education discussed special education funding in California. Many school districts from California share data on the dramatic and alarming increase in the category of autism in the past 10-15 years, and it corroborated by the Legislative Analyst Office of LAO. The data shows in most districts that the enrollment of special education students is increasing and the enrollment of the general population is decreasing. So in summary, autism group, it's almost 100% growth is coming from the category of autism, and especially in preschool, it's exploding dramatically. So there was a comparative study that was done just recently in July 2018, a trend from 1931 to 2014. And the trend shows indicative that there is an increase of autism from starting around 1940 and upticking all the way to 2015. So there is a situation that autism is occurring in this community, in our country. So President Trump initiated a meeting between a agency, ICANN, with Robert F. Kennedy, with the National Institute of Health, HAC, to ask a series of questions pertaining to vaccines. And the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act of 1986, the purpose was to reduce the potential financial liability of vaccines makers due to injury claims. Reason, vaccines sometimes injured children or cause death to children or adults, so people sue. So let's say, for example, a product like Cradle and String was recalled because the possible risk of injury to a child. It had a report of 2 children being injured by this malfunction. And so what did the company do? It was an economic incentive to maintain, improve, and guarantee the safety of this Cradle, so they removed it from the public. Why? Because the company can get sued. Makes sense. The vaccine makers no longer had this check and balances because it was removed. No longer an economic incentive to actually maintain or improve or guarantee the safety of vaccines, making a better product. So the House, therefore, put an amendment to the Childhood Vaccine Injury Act of 1986, making sure that Human Health and Services will be responsible and mandated for every 2 years to make safety profile of all the vaccines that are being injected in our children and making sure vaccines are safe. So ICANN and Robert Enke set up a FOIA through President Trump to ask a series of questions. And one question was HSS acting on good faith in following the mandate for safer childhood vaccines requirements and to provide documentation since 1986? So HHS was mandated for every 2 years to make a safety profile for all vaccines being used. They had to go file a lawsuit because the FOIA requests, they weren't initiating. HHS wasn't providing the information needed, so they had to follow a lawsuit. So this is the lawsuit here. And this lawsuit came roughly 2 weeks ago. So the result of the lawsuit is that HSS had to finally and shockingly admit that never, not even once, submitted a single biennial report to Congress in detailing the improvement in vaccine safety. So there was no safety check for checks and balances. So, we have a number of issues when it comes to autism, an increase of rise in autism. HSS is not doing their job in protecting our children. The vaccine makers aren't held accountable for unsafe products intended for children. There's no incentive for them to ensure the vaccines they manufacture are safe. So it is really shocking that the Human Health Service wasn't doing their job in protecting our children. And I think it's very important that our community is aware of this. And so on this, it states that the department searches for records did not locate any records responsive to your request, it states they did a thorough search of all of their records, including their correspondence, and found nothing. So I just wanted to share, when it comes to vaccines, that, we need to understand and do our research, because the majority of our children are getting vaccinated, and we see that our government is not doing their fair share of check and balances when it comes to the safety of our children. Thank you.
Mr. Na.
Yes. Well, during the summer vacation, we had many students came in and spoke to us, and really appreciate you. I'm sure our HR department, they are fellows. You have heard our students and parents' concerns, and I have a faith, as the parent said, that you look at everything. Thank you. And other students, we talk about roads. Yes, students do not appreciate combo classes. And I know Dr. Norman Enfield, you just stepped in, but you heard that loud and clear. And if there's any way that we can look over on that school situation at roads, let's look it over again. If we can't do it, then we can't do it. But for the students' sake, let's look at it one more time. And Chino High School situation, yes, I know that well. And your daughter had spoken the truth. There are certain flooded areas where I have seen had a real poor drain, and schools being old and not have enough sewage sewer system prepared back then caused the situation we have today. So Greg, could you go look over the campus? Even though we have a plan for new school, it could take another year or 2 years. And again, our safety should be our first concern. So let's come up with something. And I know about that gate, attendance office. It's not a big fix. If we were able to fix it, let's get it done too. Thank you. Yeah, I had visited adult school, and yeah, there's students who were all adults like us, and they were studying so hard in this hot weather. And teachers had told me they had taught in elementary schools, junior highs, and high schools, and then they had hoped all those students were like them, adults who wanted to learn with great passion. Yes, many of them were coming from another country, but they had great passion to learn so that their children would be successful. So I was amazed. Looking at our district office, I met Julian with his great team, Rodriguez, still working very hard to prepare our fall semester. So thank you, appreciate you. And I was stopped actually tonight to make sure I mention one person's name. And currently he's the head of our risk management, Craig Frame. They have told me that he's the first one in 20-some years who has been visiting each campuses to make sure that we have emergency needs prepared. And yes, the big one could come, the rain could come, or something could happen. But having the foreknowledge and heart for our children really meant a lot for other employees to see our director visiting each site and making sure that our kids will be safe. I know it could be part of your job description, but I think I could say you have done beyond your duty, and we're being blessed because of your presence. So thank you for your hard work. This is my tonight's comment.
Dr. Enfield.
First of all, I want to assure the board that I heard all the parents' concerns tonight, and the district will be looking into those. Secondly, Mr. Na, I wanted to share with you regarding the combination classes. I know HR is still doing the staffing and looking at schools that may have a high number of combination classes and looking at allocating extra FTE to reduce those. So we're still not done with that. And then a little bit, I know it's the time of the year where a number of our certificated staff is off contract and hopefully are out enjoying the summer. And I know a number of us in management have taken some vacations, me including. But, you know, I came to the district 11 years ago, and in the different positions that I've been at, coming from a site down to the district office, you have a real, at least I do, I have a real appreciation for the work of the work that our classified employees do at this time of the year, because what many people don't see, unless you're down here, is at this time of the year, classified has their continued work to do, but in a very short window, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in a short amount of time to prepare for the following school year, and 1 year is ending. For instance, in the business department, they're closing out budgets, but then rolling over another budget, and they're doing both of those simultaneously over a couple of months and looking through the rollover and looking to see if all the information is correct. And so there's a tremendous amount of work. In the HR department, probably over 200 positions we're flying in a couple of months. And the staff over there is working hard to set up all those interviews and all the paperwork that goes into that. Again, it's a tremendous amount of work. If you look at the technology department, schools seem to save a little bit of money at the end of the year, and then they purchase a lot, and all this equipment and technology that comes rolling in is brought over to the warehouse. So the warehouse is impacted on trying to get that out in May and June and July and sometimes into August. And the technology, a lot of computers come in, and they're having to image and get all of that equipment out to the school sites in a very short amount of time. The technology department, again, is the schools are down for a short period of time, and it gives them the opportunity to go in and have to change out equipment there. We have the PDC-1 textbooks are coming in, and the ladies over there, you walk into that building and the textbooks are to the ceiling, and they're going through those, making sure that the vendor sent the right material, they're barcoding it and getting those ready for the warehouse again to go ship out in a very short period of time and get the textbooks out to the school sites. And then our maintenance and operation crew, the work that they do year in throughout the year, but then again during the summer is the time to go and fix and repair and try to get our schools up and running for the beginning when we come back in August 13th. And again, they have their regular work that they do during the year, but in a few months they are really moving to get everything done. And again, I have a great appreciation for the work that they do, and I just wanted to thank them for the work that they do to get all of our schools ready for the beginning of the 2018-19 school year. So thank you to the CSEA staff.
I have no comments this evening. I adjourn the regular meeting of the Board of Education at 8:42.